Hello, Steve White, TrekBoy89 for Steve Arts 89. I just wanted to do a little video about Jessie Gender in her last video that I saw. She did a video called, and it's total clickbait, called Star Trek Canon Doesn't Matter. So she's just trying from the get-go to just upset Star Trek fans, of course, by invalidating their Star Trek and their universe. Now, the reason she seems to do this is all about her psychology, her mentality, her emotional state, where because as a trans woman she feels she's not a part of society, that she's excluded, that the patriarchy refuses to acknowledge her and accept her, and which pretty much doesn't, that basically instead of finding a way to be accepted and have a place and a space in these institutions and these sort of this society, she just wants to destroy it all because, like a child having a tantrum, well, won't let me be in it that I want it. It should be, it has no value, it should be destroyed. It doesn't need to exist. Is her sort of attitude, and it's very narcissistic, very nihilistic, very negative, to basically say because I'm not a part of this world, it should be destroyed and recreated in my image and what suits me, and not taking into account all the other people that it does work for. So the way the gay community has always dealt with this situation is to sort of desensitize the heteros and show them that if you give us rights and freedoms and let us into your spaces and in your world and your society, nothing bad's going to happen, it's fine. And we got to the point where we got, marriage equality and people finally realised that the sky wasn't going to fall with each, freedom that we gave the gays, and that we weren't a threat and we're fine. But then other people came in, hijacked the narrative, and then made it all about, you need to change your world to suit us. Not find a place in the world for us, but change the whole world, destroy the world, and recreate it in our image so it suits us, which of course is a huge threat to everyone else. So some extremists have come in and they've hijacked the narrative and they've sort of alienated one group predominantly from everyone else, and it's just a disaster. And she's part of this problem where, like I said, because she doesn't feel part of that Star Trek universe, that what she sees as a patriarchy, she thinks it should be destroyed. So it's just really sad. But the annoying part is when she was actually trying to argue the actual production side of it, and basically saying, well, canon shouldn't matter. You should just bend canon to each particular story, and the story should matter, not the universe. And I'm like, are you kidding me? The stories only work because they exist in a universe that is defined and consistent and has continuity, that fans can invest in and believe in, and they can suspend their disbelief and believe that this universe actually exists and has rules and logic and history, and they can tell the stories within that. And she was saying the complete opposite, that none of that matters, and you should just destroy it all and throw it all out in favour of just the individual stories, because the individual matters more than the whole, because that's the way she sees the world, through an individualistic way of thinking, because she doesn't feel that she's a part of the world and the universe. So she's just this individual, and everything should be catered to her, and everything should be destroyed and recreated in her image, because that's her mentality. Unfortunately, a lot of people like her have the same attitude, and it comes from being so persecuted and having to really fight to validate your identity, that you become obsessed with identity and identity politics and all that. And it's sort of not really productive and doesn't really work, and you're never going to make the rest of the world give up their identity and trade it in for yours, and you're never going to destroy society and the patriarchy and rebuild it the way you see it. We just need to adapt it, so it includes everyone, and we don't need to destroy society. We can just fix it. And we've been doing that slowly over the decades, and we'll continue to do that. God, I mean, we've gone backwards thanks to certain presidents, but we will eventually start going forward again, I believe, and that's the only way to do it. So you don't fix the world by destroying it and rebuilding it. You just fix it as you're going along and adapt it as you're going along, because things change and grow anyway. You can't just build one structure and have it stay sound and solid, and it has to be something that evolves and changes and grows and moves anyway. So yeah, I just found it bizarre that she did this video. It was clearly clickbait and just trying to be offensive and getting attention, but yet at the same time, at the core of it is this real belief that she has, this nihilistic, narcissistic idea that she doesn't fit into society, so society has to be torn down and destroyed and rebuilt in her image so she can see herself reflected back in the world she lives in, which is an incredibly narcissistic thing that a lot of people like her have because of the problems that they go through. So it's understandable, but it doesn't mean it's right and okay, and it's something you have to deal with, rather than inflicting it on everyone else. But I'm past 5 minutes. I'm going to cut it off there. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this idea of canon not mattering in fiction, and so forth, because it is the most ridiculous thing I've heard. And I can't believe she even tried to actually sell it.